All right, Sagittarius, welcome to your reading for the month of April. My name's Wendy, and I do offer personal readings. If you're interested, the link to my website is below. Let's see what season you're in. I'm going to pull from a few different decks for you for this month. Sagittarius. Sagittarius for the month of April. Ooh, submerged iceberg. Interesting. Now, Scorpio had the mountain. So there's something interesting between the two signs where the lower half underground and then the half that is seen. Because your role, you might feel like your roles are switched. Because you think we associate this with Scorpio is immediately what's coming to me. And then the mountain or strength would be you. So right now we're focusing on what is beneath the surface, the strength beneath the surface, the roots, the depths, what we cannot see. A major arcana for Sagittarius, the Fool. Kind of getting a rebirth. I've had this message for a lot of the signs. I've done Libra and Scorpio just before you, and I have to say that the rebirth theme is big for all of us. I mean, it's spring, it's Aries season, right? It's a new zodiacal eclipse and just a lot of refreshing energy, I think. So even this Fool who's also kind of working with this mountain imagery, right? He's on top of the mountain, unaware of the depths, blissfully, I don't know if this is you, but someone is blissfully unaware of all of the hidden elements. Now, it could be necessary, Sagittarius, to submerge a part of yourself for now, like almost like a gestation, like put it, just let it be and forget about that part of things so that you can feel free for a while. Something is deep. It's, I don't want to say hidden. It's not intentionally hidden with the iceberg. It's just a necessary foundation that many are not aware of. And so there's such an interesting juxtaposition of this light-hearted, happy-go-lucky, what we see on the surface to what this person has been through, like everything that has formed you up to this point and enabled you to be who you are. Just realized my candle's gone out. The wick has been submerged in the wax, quite literally. So music seems to be a big thing, creativity, starting fresh, but not really knowing where things are going. It's just just doing it because it feels good, right? The Fool is a 0. And the iceberg there is kind of a 0 point with that too, because we talk about what's under the surface, what's above, but then what's right at sea level, ground level, like the 0 point. Does ground zero mean something to you? Maybe you're visiting. Pardon me as I just light a new candle here. What I see is a beautiful defiance. And it kind of shows because you guys have, I feel like, okay, another message coming through is that we're all kind of fighting stereotypes this month. Your sign typically gets typecast as this freedom-loving, non-committal sort of uncatchable, unattainable, fun-loving, juvenile, you know what I mean? Like all those like stereotypes about you, but you're all very incredibly deep and philosophical and artistic, and you provide important connections. You connect things. You're a bridge builder, much like Libra. You're a bridge builder. And that part of you would be considered submerged because it's so much of who you are, but you don't really talk about it unless you're asked, right? Like you're here in the moment, you're present, we're talking about what's next, and you're making things happen, and you're helping people grow bigger and helping things grow bigger. And like you tend to be really great connectors in terms of resources for people or opportunities or like resources. So I just think like as a message to you for just being grateful for yourself and the abilities you do have. I think that's really powerful, to come from all this stuff that is submerged below the surface to dancing freely on top of it. And like I said, it's not purposely hidden. The submerged stuff is there as a foundation, but it's not like it's going to surface one day. This is not the moon card. Like, we're not talking about hidden or deception or anything. It's just the important stuff sometimes is not seen. Maybe that frustrates you. Maybe you wish that you could be taken more seriously, or that people would like listen to the depths. What is that energy? Okay. The real power, though, it's coming from something unseen. The real power is something you could pull up at some point, but you don't need to. Like, the icebergs are great. Seeing them at surface level, above sea level, like, they're great. They're massive. You know, it's just the tip of the iceberg, as they say. I think you have a really good feeling about something, and you know that it's just getting started. You know that it's just the tip of the iceberg. Look at him playing this flute. Something about this is setting you free. Okay. All right, I'm going to take so you've got the garden, the coffin, and the heart. Wow. It's quite striking imagery. So much about life on either side, but then in the middle is this rest or this pause. In a public space, do you feel confined? Because this Fool card is indicating travel or being out kind of in the public, yet there is some kind of confinement. I think that really what's coming through is that something is stable, something is abundant, something is lush, it's rich enough, it's flowing, and I dare say self-sustaining, to the point that you can have a rest, you can take a bit of a break. As they say, flowers can't bloom all the time. You know, we need to have Your reading is perplexing me in a way. When I did Libra Scorpio, I was like, blah, 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 just like talking nonstop. And for you, it's just like taking a quiet moment and feeling into this. That's beautiful. That's interesting. Maybe trying to keep something light so that it doesn't get heavy, or taking heavy messages or imagery or memories or something, but making light of them, making art or making music, or like art therapy. Like something is therapeutic, it's expressive, and it's freeing you. You don't want to carry anything with you. It's not that you don't want to carry, you don't have to carry all this heaviness with you at once. I do see a lot of people gathering in small spaces for some kind of sake of expression. I don't know if there's a tiny wedding or if there's some like gathering or parties or something in a small space. The guard and the coffin, of course, do have this darker imagery where it could be perhaps visiting a cemetery or like visiting the resting place of a loved one, or the resting place of something historical. But coffin doesn't mean, you know, flames always indicate life. So keeping the flame alive, the heart, right? There's something about keeping something beating, pulsing. There's a pulse, there's a pulse. And it's been submerged for a long time. It's coming to the surface now, and it's being expressed in all of its free glory, and it's playful and it's fun, but it like there's something about this that has been, I think, in your subconscious for a long time. Now we're getting there. You see, I do feel that kind of now, sleeping on it, right? Submerged, the coffin, like you've been sleeping on something, or it's been, this heart is just, it's so full and bright. It can be love. Meeting someone it's like, let's just hang out in public. You don't want to commit too fast. Maybe there is something about feeling confined or feeling restricted. You want to talk about those deep, dark things, the things that are submerged that maybe other people didn't know about you before. It's time to kind of bring those up to the surface and shout it from the mountaintops. There's all this flow coming in now with the coffin too. This could be maybe some dark imagery that you're working with. If you are doing an artistic project or you're investigating something, there could be something around darker imagery. The heart lives on. The heart lives on. A card of advice, practical action for Sagittarius this month. Card of practical action. Let's get a little closer. Practical action for Sagittarius. Oops. You know, you've got the Ace of Cups kind of showing here too. It was peeking out. I'm not going to take it. It wasn't the main card, but you do have that Ace of Cups just peeking, which is the heart. So what is at the center of everything? What is at the center? The garden. Like, what is at the center of this? Center, center, center. Remember, we talked about that 0 point, that ground level, that center. There's something about that. Two of Cups. Practical action. Now, first of all, pay attention to anything that does not sit right with you. There could be something that is making you feel a little allergic or a little sick. Something is kind of seeping in. That's why the coffin is here. You might need a little bit of a rest. You might just have a moment of like lowered immunity or lower health or just, a quick cold or something like that. Something is interacting with your chemistry this month, your body chemistry, and that does affect your health, right? New environments affect your health. Getting out of doors maybe would help you with that, or going to visit a wide open natural space. The Two of Cups, though, is magnetism. It's attraction. There's a reason that there's something very magnetic here. Even if this, let's say you're just getting to know somebody, but you have kind of you're not sure quite how you feel about them. Something is just a little off. They're toxic. Two of Cups is often a toxic card, so it is a bit of a warning here. But there is some kind of reason that you've attracted or been attracted to this. Now, on the other side, a lot of you could be getting involved with some new healing techniques, maybe some new medicines or new natural therapies or something that is kind of changing your body chemistry for the better. There is a singular purpose, a Godhead, they call it, from which both of these energies originate. So going back to the origin place, maybe there's some healing work you want to do there, there's some discovery. And you may find when you get there, it's just the tip of the iceberg. Two of Cups does not have to be a negative card. I know I always give it that negative connotation if you see my readings before, but I have to be honest. Every time I pull that card for someone, that is what I see. And I've seen that in my own life as well. It's affecting your health, or it's a toxic person, something toxic in the environment. Because again, it's like when you interact with a new environment, your body chemistry, your immune system starts to change. It starts to work to adapt to that new environment, and something just doesn't sit quite right with you. It could be food you're eating. But I feel that this is something really energetic, and it's about origin stories and sources. So when I say there's a reason that you've been magnetized, or this has been magnetized to you, if it is negative, maybe it's just something there to pass the time, or maybe it's just something, I don't know, it's maybe you have to look at what part of you was asking and what you got in return, and how could you, if it's not quite right, how can you better communicate in the future when you're asking for what you want or what you need. Maybe you just, the thing is, I don't think something has been properly communicated here. And I'm getting a taste of a strawberry summer drink. But so something wasn't fully communicated. So you kind of got a watered down version of what you were asking for, maybe. So how do we heal this? Maybe just one more card. How do we heal this? How do we bring this all together? How do we heal this? Oh, the Three of Cups, look. Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. The Three of Cups is such a musical card for me, and I love that they've illustrated it that way in this deck, because people think I'm crazy, but when I pull this card, I'm like, you need to play music or go see some music, take part in that creation, right? The heart, the life-affirming creation from that origin place. This is also the offerings of friendship, the group dynamic. Talk to your friends, get their opinions, listen to them. Because I think whatever answer you're looking for, you're going to get it in more of a casual setting where you can give your honest just because it's casual, right? So you're more apt to give an honest opinion or give honest like backstory. Something about the formality of the garden and the coffin, like it feels in one place it's been too formal and you haven't been able to fully express. And so here, you know, in a more casual setting, where there's just joy and jolly, you know, going around, that is where you get more of an honest result. Look at all this music. That is beautiful. So Sagittarius, I'll just leave that there for now. Like the way these dragons have become a bouquet of lilies. Both are peaceful, but I think that mermaid, like she's feisty in that, right? Like she is a mermaid. She's beautiful, gracious, but with like she shares the sea with dragons. That's intense. So she either has to coexist with them or like be ready to defend, right? Whereas this musician with the 3 lilies, like that's just an offering straight from the divine. So there's no ferocity or survivalism there. Okay, let's leave that there. If you'd like a personal reading, I would love to read for you. My website is below. I do offer quite a few different readings. Thanks everyone who has booked with me, who's donated to the channel. I appreciate you all, and I love being here. So thank you for letting me read for you once more, and I wish you a beautiful, joyous month ahead.